Child, Ayla and Vulcan are back at it again with the back and forth, This is your LCS Day 2 recap. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Miss Chim Chim and I am here to give you the full rundown, all the hot takes, all the hot recaps of LCS week 1 day 2. And y'all, I think we're starting to see which teams have really been putting in work over the MSI vacation and which ones may have just been chilling. So the first game was Cloud9 versus Dignitas. Now, Cloud9 is the #1 team last year and this year, and then Dignitas is... You know how this game went. To be honest though, let me not clown Dignitas too much because y'all, Fudge got solo killed twice by Dignitas's top laner, Rich. I don't know what happened, but it happened not once, but twice. So Fudge, I'm gonna need you to stand up. So Dignitas also was kind of just at a disadvantage because Kha'Zix, aka Blabber, C9, got insanely fed. I think at one point he was like 7-2, 7-3. Jinx, aka Dignitas's ADC, was just not able to play the game because C9 had a fed Kha'Zix, Imenez on Annie, who has a point and click stun, Jax, who can jump from Timbuktu onto Jinx. They had Lulu, who could polymorph her. Like, Jinx was just not able to play the game, and it truly showed because homegirl was negative. I feel so bad. Like, I, as a Jinx main, know that feeling of like when the assassins or like when everybody is trying to jump on you. And y'all, at one point, Imenez flash killed Jinx under mid lane tower with all of Dignitas around, got out, and like there was nothing that anybody could do about it. They just had to sit there and watch. Like it was so sad. It was just truly so sad. Cloud9 took their 2-0 win for day 2. After Cloud9 versus Dignitas was FLYQUEST versus TSM. Now y'all, oh my gosh, let me not spoil the ending results, but y'all, Boogie, see, this is why I like Boogie. Boogie was so aggro on J4. He was initiating, going in, ulting everybody and their grandmamas. Like, oh my gosh, I just felt like Boogie was such a star player during this game. At one point, there was a Baron fight. FlyQuest was trying to do the Baron, and TSM actually made it there in time, did a little scuffle. Baron was sitting at 2k HP for about 45 minutes, and yet nobody got the Baron. It was crazy, but FlyQuest then tried to do Baron again, and y'all, it ended in a TSM quadra. Yes, I am looking at you, Insanity. Now let's talk about Insanity, because Insanity is not even the starting mid laner. He's only filling in for Lil Ruby over there. Y'all, when I tell you this man is a academy player and he is popping the frick off. Oh my gosh. So Boogie actually ended up getting caught, and Chime was calling for a recall, like, guys, let's peel back, let's go, like, let's disengage. And Haunter said no, forward. And when I tell you this man ulted, he got 2 people, and Insanity said, I'm with you, and he went in and got a quadra kill, y'all. Oh my gosh, that's 90,000 shock rooms on Prince. Oh my gosh, Insanity is ending the game. They're TPing, Hunter's TPing, they're stopping backs. No freaking shot, 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 this happened.
And FlyQuest cannot get home in time.
Oh my gosh, y'all slimy. Like, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. FlyQuest is sitting at 0-2. The #3 team from last split is 0-2, and TSM is 1-1, but that's a win over the #3 team from spring split. Oh my gosh. Third game of the day, which I co-streamed with Manko. Shout out to Manko. Thank you so much for co-streaming with me. Was 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid Honda. Now, guys, this was a really hard game for me because y'all know I'm a part of the Busio fan club, but I recently have discovered I am also a part of the Summit fan club, and I've been a member of the Pyoshik fan club, so I didn't know what to do here. This game, now there was like a really long delay. They were having game issues at the beginning, but once they got into it, it was such a good game because there was so much strategy involved. And normally it's people just playing safe. No, it was go mode. There were so many scraps, like we were still duking it out, but like it was always even. There was never a gold lead of over like 900 gold, and it was juggling back and forth. Like that small amount was getting juggled back and forth. I thought it was not boring at all. So Team Liquid Honda, after securing all but one dragon, they got Cloud Soul and they got 2 Barons. Team Liquid won. Now, Someday from 100 Thieves had his little highlight reel yesterday, as I mentioned in my previous video from the LCS recap for day 1. But y'all, today Summit said, my turn. This man was, I don't want to say he was unkillable. He wasn't on Someday's level of unkillable on Renekton yesterday, but this man was a force to be reckoned with. Anytime he showed up to a team fight, it was like, oh no, Summit's here. He did so much damage. His CC was something to be feared. He made sure to focus all the right targets. And with Sejuani, aka Pyoshik, backing him up, like there was no way Team Liquid did not win this game. Team Liquid ended up winning over 100 Thieves. Oh my gosh. So that is Team Liquid sitting pretty at 2-0 and 100 Thieves at 1-1. And my goodness, I just want to say 100 Thieves still look good, but Team Liquid won. Like, pop off. I stand. The fourth game of the day was NRG versus IMT. And y'all, I thought this game was going to be a snooze fest, but let me tell you, NRG was up, and I mean up and stuck. They were in IMT's base. FBI was loaded on kills on Zeri. They were pew 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 popping left and right. And NRG even stole Baron with about 100 HP from IMT. It was a desperate Baron from IMT. They knew that they needed something to get them back in this game. And NRG was so far deep into IMT's base. They only had one Nexus turret left and the Nexus to kill. But y'all, let me tell you what happened. NRG went to go do Baron. IMT steals it. Okay, that's part 1. Part 2, NRG takes a fight with Baroned up IMT. Okay, let me tell you part 3. IMT kills FBI. Now remember, FBI is the source of damage. That's the Fed Zeri. IMT runs it down and wins the game. Oh my gosh. So you're telling me one of the bottom teams from the last spring split is now 2-0? I think we're in another dimension. So yeah, IMT ended up taking that win over NRG. And as we proceeded into the last game of the day, game 5 featured Golden Guardians versus Evil Geniuses. And y'all, this was another good game. It was pretty close, kind of like the 100 Thieves Team Liquid game. River for Golden Guardians actually locked in Nautilus jungle. And y'all, he was getting a lot of work done. He was getting the ganks off. He was running people's flashes. He was hooking. He was doing what he had to do. But Golden Guardians had a lot of objectives in terms of towers, but Evil Geniuses had a lot of objectives in terms of dragons and barons. I don't know, personally, during the team fights, it looked like Golden Guardians was winning, but at the end, JoJo or Unforgiven would always do something that would be like, are they winning? Like I said, it was very even. Like the kills were always even, and then you had that balance of like dragons and towers. So it was really hard to decipher what was going on. And so EG decided to clear it up for me. During the last team fight, Unforgiven, he finally got his LDR on Aphelios, and so he was able to burn through that front line and just really get damage down. And then JoJo was sniping hoes from across the map. So they ended up taking that last fight and they closed the game out, ending 2-0. Now, I think this game was one of the most significant games of the entire day. And let me tell you why. I've been saying this all day on my stream. Evil Geniuses is a brand new team despite JoJo. Golden Guardians was the #2 team from last split. EG was not a bad team last split. Now we do have the swap of Ayla for Vulcan, which there's so much tea that we got to get into, but we'll save that for in a little bit. Y'all, during the spring split, Evil Geniuses was one of those teams who would dominate early game, be up 14,000 gold, 18,000 gold, and then throw. But the reason why I thought today's game was so significant is because of after their perfect game yesterday, no deaths, all objectives, since they were going up against the #2 team from Spring Split today. I wanted to see if Evil Geniuses was going to throw their lead, throw the game a little bit here, a little bit there. But y'all, they looked consistent, and consistency is always going to be key. So with that being said, them being 2-0, them beating Golden Guardians, again, like I said yesterday, everybody's giving FlyQuest their flowers, but no shade to FlyQuest. Love FlyQuest. I think they're a little bit overrated. So I don't see EG having a problem beating FlyQuest. The only other significant game that I think we're gonna see with Evil Geniuses is versus Cloud9. If EG beats Cloud9, I think they're going to win the entire split. I don't know if they're there yet, but I think they're the only contender against Cloud9 right now. And what I'll also say is they are definitely in the #2 slot. So pop off, EG. Let's get into the rankings for after day 2. We have Cloud9, Evil Geniuses, Immortals, Progressive, and Team Liquid Honda sitting at the 2-0 slot. Oh my gosh. So remember, Immortals was a bottom team last split. Team Liquid Honda, they weren't a bottom team, but they definitely weren't at the top like they are right now. They're sitting real cute. EG, I'm not surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you. And C9, this is where they reside. Let's be honest. Sitting at 1-1 is 100 Thieves and TSM, and don't get me wrong, they have not had bad performances at all. And then y'all, we see Golden Guardians, the #2 team from Spring Split, FlyQuest, the #3 team from Spring Split, and Dignitas sitting at 0-2. Now I know this is gonna change, but I still think it's crazy the order that we're seeing right now. All right, let's get into the beef of Ayla and Vulcan, because we've done this before. We did all of this last season, but y'all, the lore keeps developing. Lord have mercy. So I don't know why today of all days, but Ayla decided he wanted to go and retweet after Vulcan, because Vulcan is on FlyQuest now, where Ayla used to be. FlyQuest is 0-2, so Ayla decided to bring up some old blood, and he did like a little Keck W or something like that to Winsome's old tweet that sparked the whole start of this drama. Vulcan responded and he said, "Oh, thanks for letting me live in your head rent free, yada yada yada." But that was not enough. And Ayla, if you're watching this, I know you were waiting for this moment. I know you were waiting for this interview section to go ahead and get this off your chest. But during the interview, Ayla finally got to say what he felt about Vulcan.
Yeah, I mean, Vulcan's not that good. Like, he's trash talking, but he doesn't deserve that. So I think swapping teams, you know, we'll see who's a better support and like who's actually the problem in the team.
Ayla finally got to get off his chest that he does not think that Vulcan is that good of a player. Now remember, Vulcan said the same thing about Ayla last year, but Ayla said, "I'm on top now, ho, so what's good?" And you know what? Honestly, I'm here for the banter. I'm here for the back and forth, and I can't wait to see how the lore continues to develop. Are we gonna get some more Spin versus Yun action in the form of Vulcan versus Ayla? I cannot wait for the ultimate showdown of FlyQuest versus Evil Geniuses. Now, right now, if I'm being honest with you, it looks like an EG win. But remember, last time FlyQuest versus Evil Genius happened and Vulcan was on EG and Ayla was on FlyQuest, Vulcan was going ham on Ayla, even killing him in his own base. I remember, oh my gosh, Vulcan was Thresh and Ayla was Lulu, and the game was about to end. And Vulcan said, "Y'all, let me get this one last shot in." And Vulcan as Thresh hooked the Lulu. Everybody piled on, killed the Lulu. And then Vulcan did his little jig. He didn't actually dance, but mentally, I know he was over there two-stepping. But I'm gonna let that be the end of the wrap up for today's LCS week 1, day 2. I'll see you for day 3. I got a lot going on in real life. I'm so sorry, y'all. But if I do, make sure you drop a follow at twitch.tv/MissChimChim. I stream every day at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can always watch LCS with me. Until the next one, thank you guys so much for watching, and love you. Bye.